what people thought of me. I was very much in the mindset of like, I'm going to be a college kid as much as I am going to be a college football player as well.
I feel like Johnny Manziel was Odell Beckham before Odell Beckham.
Just real light skin. Yeah.
I mean, because
yeah. Bro, Drake was saying his name.
That's what I'm saying. So
Johnny Manziel. Like, I remember that.
To be 18 years old, flying into Toronto, riding in the back of the Ghost, smoking a joint with my favorite rapper that I,
that's my type of language.
For me, I was like, is this real?
Yeah. Okay. 4-0 when I touch down. Got a whole series on lockdown. If they looking for me, tell them pipe down. We up to the test. You want hit with the best. We had direct take. Let's go.
Okay, Eagles fans, let's talk some. No one talks better than Philly, and it's about time that we get rewarded for it, which is why my tequila, Grand Cormino, is teaming up with the Philadelphia Eagles for the Roast Our Rivals contest. Talk and make me proud, people.
This episode of 2510 is brought to you by our special partners over at DoorDash, man. Hey, the Go That deliveries, your door to more doors, and to plenty more. Man, get your game day festivities. Eat up, eat good. You ain't got to take your eyes off the mother freaking game, man. Hey, go download DoorDash app today, man. We appreciate our partners at DoorDash. Yo, what's good? This your boy, 101 D-Jack, with another great episode of 2510. Shady McCoy, my brother. Hall of Fame, Shady McCoy. What's up, bro? How you feeling?
Not good. I was a little late today. Had a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I'm here. I know you don't care what happened. So
Nah, it's all good. I'm always
curious, crazy story. We got a great guest, so I ain't going to, hold up too much of our time.
Yeah,
so
you rocking that Philly green, man. It's looking good. It's
I had
another episode of the green. You feeling real green lately?
No, I had a little Eagle commercial today. You know what I mean? I try to push him. I say, I got something to do.
I was gonna say they getting some extra endorsements since you've been in Hall of Fame. I've been seeing you rocking a lot of Philly shit.
It's a lot. You gonna see the playoffs. You gonna see me all over the screen with my Eagle stuff on. Yeah, I mean, we got some stuff be cooking up.
All right, for sure,
you know what I mean?
I'm excited about this one, man. Before we get into it, man, let's revisit the past pod, man. When we had our boy on there, man.
When we was giving you your praise from the Meadowlands.
Did you hear what Matt Dawes said?
No, what he say?
He said, "Give me my flowers." He like, I would have took some of that money from that contract you got.
That's what he said? Yeah, well, you owe him a little bit.
No, I don't owe him. I gave him his flowers. That's all I owe him.
You owe him some money, though.
He punted me the ball. I don't owe him no money. He punted me the ball. I did what I was supposed to do as a professional. I did my job. I mean, I don't owe him no money. Yeah. I told him what I'd do. I'll fly him and his family out to Cali, though.
Nah, bro, he needs some money, though.
Nah, but the Miracle in the Meadowlands, #2, that was a great to reflect on that. Man, it's always good. Like, it's crazy. So much time. Like, time flies, man. Time don't wait on nobody, man. So appreciate everybody tapping in. Like, follow, subscribe.
That's right.
Get us there, man. We close to 100,000 subscribers, man. So with no further introduction, my boy Johnny Manziel, man. Hey, man. This
Draft day.
Hey, this dude right here is a legend, man.
Yes,
Texas legend, man.
Yes,
going all the way back to Tyler, man. Talk to us about growing up, man, in Texas, man. How was it in your early days?
Man, Texas was great. I feel like obviously a great football state. I feel lucky to be able to be from there. All my family's still there, so I'm still very much Texas at heart.
Texas at heart.
No doubt.
So what was it like, though, man? Because, like, obviously, Johnny Football, man. We talking about Johnny Football, man.
Stop playing.
We can't take this lightly, man. Like, we going back. My boy one of the ones, Shady. We was young, and we popped it at an early age. This dude right here,
he's popping
I think he one of the ones he set the bar high for popping it, man. Talk to us. Like, where'd that come from, man?
Man, I don't know. Just man, when I got to A&M, I got around some good dogs that were there. And obviously, had a lot of fun playing ball. I think, as anybody, when you get a chance to get out on the field and get around some guys, you get a chance to let your personality out a little bit. And for me, that happened at A&M. So it was I don't know, kind of natural for me to be able to get on the field and do my thing and be able to have my personality show as well.
I want to ask you this though. So our last episode, it was the 14th anniversary of the Miracle in the Meadowlands. That's in New York Giants Stadium. I don't know how young. I know you're younger than we are. Do you remember that DeSean Jackson punt return?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
What was your first reaction? Before we get into you, I just want to recap that because that was crazy for me actually being live and watching that.
I think if you're looking at it in that game, it's like, why the would you even kick it to him?
Right.
Why the would you even kick it to that man? You know what he's going to do with it. You know what he's been doing with it anytime he gets the ball, but to be able to walk it off like that is it's insane. So legendary. I think memorable for anybody that was watching football at that time.
I just had to get your input on that. So, all right, so back to you, though. So, Jack talked about popping it off. So, it's crazy because there's certain players, right, that, especially in college, they got the one-namers, right? You got the Cams, you got Tebow, right? You got the Reggie, you know what I'm saying? And you got the Vic, and you got the Johnny Manziel, though, Johnny Football. When I put your name with that, right? Now, we're not talking about the NFL, we're talking about college. Your name fits in with all them dudes, though. How does that feel, though, when people talk about you, have that legendary college career?
I mean, obviously, to be named any time with guys like that, with legends like that is unbelievable. To get a chance to go back to the Heisman every year, to be able to have that trophy and have, a season and a couple seasons in college that lasts for, a long time is obviously sick. I got a chance to go play some great football while I was at Texas A&M and made some highlights and some memories that still last to this day.
I'm pissed off that I didn't get a chance to meet you back in the day because I did your podcast, right? The Glory Days, correct? And you were so calm and cool. I'm like, damn, like Johnny kind of like this. He like too chill because Johnny we know was popping like this. We taking shots. We lit. We live. Like, tell me how that changed though, or is it the same? Like where I'm chill, but then I could still.
No, I think I just got to a place in my life now at 32, just a little bit older, where things have just kind of slowed down for me a little bit. I'm in a little bit different lane than I was whenever I was a kid. I think I definitely, for a long time in my life was on that popping, running around and being crazy. And I just got to a point now where, I feel like I'm settling down, slowing down a little bit, and just, chilling out.
Right.
I want to go back to your high school days, man. Obviously, you was that dude in high school, and I want to ask you: did you know, when did you realize, like, I'm special, I'm gonna be something special? And obviously, some of the stories I heard to me kind of seem unbelievable. But like, I want to go back to like, did you really when did you start knowing that Johnny Manziel was turning into who you were becoming? Because from looking at the statistics, you passed over 3,000 yards. I mean, one of the first players, or not the first players, but you got a crazy record, right? And then for rushing over 1,000 yards, when did you start realizing that you was that dude, man?
I don't know. I think for me, in high school, I started to play well, obviously, but didn't have any offers. I was definitely a late bloomer. I went to a smaller school outside of San Antonio, so I thought there was always a chance for me to be able to go play college football. I didn't ever think I was going to be able to do, half the things that I was able to do, really. To go play at A&M, I was expecting to go maybe play a little bit, get a degree, and then who knows, go work in insurance or whatever you do whenever you're done playing football. But for me, I think, I knew from probably freshman, sophomore year that I would have a chance to go at least play at the next level and have some success, but, beyond my wildest dreams of being able to do the things that I got to do.
So, Shady, I got a trivia question for you, man. I want to see if you know this.
I be knowing a lot.
So, Johnny won Mr. Texas.
I knew that.
You know he won Mr. Texas, but can you name a starting quarterback in the league who also won that?
Yeah. You want to know his name right now? Because he plays for the Rams right now. You play with him.
What's his name?
Huh? Matthew Stafford. Correct?
All right, good guy.
I mean, I know. Listen, man. I don't know if you know. I know a lot about a lot.
I just wanted.
But I had it. Did I have it?
Yeah, no,
I
know
had
the
it.
answer,
No.
They were supposed to say it.
I had it. Nah, Nick.
Did
Was
you
it Nick
know?
Foles?
You know the answer?
I think I know who it is. It's got to be Kyler Murray.
Oh, he's all right.
I thought it might be Matthew
Is that
Stafford
a
too,
blooper?
though.
We keep it at it.
Yeah, you got it. So
You ain't got me.
Kyler, no, he was good in high school.
So we want to ask it again? Cause you gonna give us the same answer?
No. Keep it like that.
You gonna keep that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you had me because I ain't know the answer. I was waiting on our
He
producer.
was going with you like, yeah.
I don't know.
Stafford played in Texas. I figured he could have been a Mr. Texas winner as well.
Because in my class, he was the number one quarterback. He was nice in high school.
So I want to go back to high school. So you committed to Oregon.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Off the rip, you committed to Oregon, and you later on changed that to Texas A&M. What went into your mental when you was making that decision, and why did you make the last minute change?
Cash.
I wanted to go to Oregon. I wanted to play in those jerseys. Were sick. The way they were running their offense, I felt like it fit me great. And then when it came down to it, just thinking about my parents having to try and get from Texas to go to Oregon, see me play, that was a big factor in it for sure. And I always wanted to stay in the state of Texas and play for, I was really looking hard at TCU and, Texas, obviously, whenever I was in high school. And I didn't really have any, offers that I thought, were going to fit me right to stay in the state of Texas. I commit to Oregon, and then, a couple games into my senior year, I get an offer from Texas A&M, and then, things kind of started to shift a little bit, having a bigger option to be able to stay in the state of Texas. So I ended up calling Chip Kelly, and he
that's what I was going to ask you. You said that name. I was going to ask you how you feel about Chip Kelly.
Yo,
I gotta hear
this. Because, me and my brother right here, I don't know if you really know, but, we feel away.
As a 16, 17-year-old kid in high school, when he's he chewed me out pretty good whenever I called him and told him I was decommitting. And then I never saw him again, never talked to him again. And then my first, when you get to the combine, my first visit was with the Eagles.
What year was this?
This was 2014, yeah.
14.
And I remember something he said to me when I was in high school. He's like, if you want to go play in a bowl game every year and go 6-6, have fun going to Texas A&M. And I remember when I walked in, that's kind of the first thing I said to him. I was like, 6-6, huh?
Yeah. That's right.
Wait. What did he say?
That's right.
Ooh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. I don't even think he really said anything. I think he just kind of laughed. I think he just kind of laughed about it. But I always kept that in the back of my mind, because as a high school kid, when I'm sitting there, my coach made me pick up the phone and call him and be like, you have to call him and decommit. I'm like, can I just do this shit and you find out online?
Did you like him though when you was about to commit to him? Did you
I wouldn't. I mean, I knew him a little bit. Like I wouldn't say I got a chance to know him like that well during the recruiting process. Mark Helfrich, who was the offensive coordinator, I feel like I had a better relationship with. But that year Oregon was also taking like four quarterbacks. So it was kind of like.
Chip Kelly, okay.
Let me ask you this, man. Going into college, I want to ask, what was your mentality? Because, if we look back at that, you've changed the college game forever, and the reason why I say that is just because your impact.
Sure.
You like you said, you committed to Texas A&M, and obviously, just changed that program around. What does it feel to have Johnny Football, the name, be created in, that you changed college football forever?
Yeah, I mean, to be able to go back and think about those times at A&M and how it was before and what it looks like now. Obviously, us going to the SEC and making that change to go to that kind of conference is plays such a big part in it too. I think just so much more notoriety. Us going 11-2 and having so much success in that first year, and then having. A lot of legendary players that we had come through during that time. Right. Myself, Mike Evans. Yeah. We had first-round draft picks coming off the board almost every year. Jake Matthews is a guy. Miles Garrett coming out the next year. Christian Kirk, really, really good player as well. So I think that year kind of gave us enough hype and enough notoriety to be able to go get some recruits who ended up changing the program. Yeah. And then A&M, did a good job of capitalizing, rebuilding the stadium and just, making sure that we have, the facilities and everything that we need to be able to compete on the recruiting trail and get guys to, hopefully get them to where they want to be one day.
It's funny, though, because you talk about college, right? Texas A&M, man, they had a lot of great players you just talked about. I feel like, respectfully, to all the, there's a lot of great players, but I feel like they owe you a lot more of respect, because even though they're really good players in the pros, there wasn't an impact like Johnny Football, though. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I love Mike Evans. It's my boy, right? Yeah. Even Miles Garrett. But, that impact, you know what I'm saying? I want to go there for these reasons. You had a big part to do with that, though.
For sure.
Right? So how do you feel about just – being a big reason why, Texas A&M was looked at a certain way?
I mean, I think anytime, you have somebody who comes through the school and is able to go win a Heisman Trophy, how much that does for the school and how much that does for the program to, break down a barrier, being the first freshman to be able to win it. That with, I think my style of play, obviously, put us in a position to have primetime games on TV, do some things that, hadn't really been the case for A&M in the past. And like I said earlier, the SEC effect is absolutely real.
But to me, it's more than that, right? Because I want to get into, get deep and dive in to Johnny Football in Texas, right? Because, okay, for example, the way you played the game was exciting, though, right? All that wild stuff and all that. But then when you were celebrating the antics you was doing with the money signs on it, all that creeped it to, being the aura of who you are. And then, I want to ask you, because I'm just interested, because when in 2015, I was with the Your draft class was 2014?
14.
Okay, so I left, and I was going to the Bills. So I got traded that year. But I remember we had Tyrod Taylor, and don't get mad, it's my boy, but I remember tweeting, like, dog, trying to stop Shady McCoy, if we draft Johnny Manziel will be crazy. And I think it was more of like your aura of how you was. So you won the Heisman as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
How did everything change, though? Because you see, respectfully, you see other white quarterbacks, they be more like, I don't know, more controlled, more like.
Yeah, I obviously had none of that off the field, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't care about, what people thought of me. I was very much in the mindset of like, I'm going to be a college kid as much as I am going to be a college football player as well. Like, I'm good at football, but like, I also want to be, a normal person. I didn't let the like fame and everything else that come to it. I didn't let anybody kind of box me in with what, I thought I had to do. Or what you're supposed to do in that situation. So, I was very much still one of the boys going out, doing whatever I really pleased and having a good time with it. I didn't feel like there was, any reason for me to slow it down at that point in time. I felt like if anything, it was only ramping up, and I was kind of, I had the celebrity status and had the means to kind of be able to do whatever I wanted.
After the Heisman, things changed, obviously.
For sure. I think, I was very much SEC quarterback, just kind of like anybody else playing at a high level. People on campus, I would know who I was, this and that. But then it went from people on campus knowing who I was to people around the world. And I think, social media played a huge part in that during that time. It was really making a huge jump.
So now I want to start there. So now I'm famous. Now you Johnny Manziel. Now we Johnny Football. Everybody know you are. And it was like, I want to ask you, because I'm sure coaches and maybe parents like, all right, Johnny, let's slow this down a little bit because you everywhere. Everybody calling your name, rappers, this, that, and the third, And as a quarterback, you got to be like, quarterbacks are like coaches on the field.
Yep. Was
there ever a point where it's like, damn, how do I kind of listen to because coaches probably told you to calm down a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So how did you kind of like monetize that where, all right, like my persona is, I'm a superstar quarterback, but I am fly and I talk that shit, I do the money sign. Compared to like, damn, I got to be a good quarterback and do everything the right way.
I think it's one of those things that just like when you get in the building and when you're around your guys, you really make sure you're tapping in. And like, as long as you have the trust of the guys that are on your offense, the guys that you're going out and lining up with every week, they very much knew that what I was doing off the field. But whenever I would come back in, they would still see that hunger, that passion, and see me locked into what we were trying to do and what we were trying to accomplish. So, for me, a lot of it was just trying to, as long as my guys knew what I was about and knew that I was going to go out and fucking play the way I was supposed to on Saturday, the rest of the shit didn't really matter to me.
You know what time it is? That's the sound of the money hitting your Vimo account, baby. A friend paying you back, or maybe it's getting cash back from your favorite business. When you pay with the Vimo debit card, or it's realizing you can pay with Vimo at checkout at thousands of your brands you love. Now, there are so many ways to answer the question, what's your Vimo? Download the Vimo. Thank you. The Vimo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. Pursuit, who licensed by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh. Cashback terms apply.
I want to make a toast to all of you. So good. To the good people who work hard to make great nights even better.
Well, if this isn't the funny man, hardest working guy in town, right?
To all the hard work that you do, no matter what you do. Cheers.
I love we sitting here talking about college, man, because when we think about college, man, obviously 2011 you redshirted. 2012, the 2012 Texas A&M season, like if you could describe that season in one word, like what would it be? Let me say your accolades first. He broke the single season record of Cam Newton and Tim Tebow. 4,600 total yards offense and beat number 1 Alabama in Tuscaloosa. How bad did that fucking feel, dog? Like, I mean, like, that's crazy, bro. Like, come on, Cam Newton and Tim Tebow?
The season started off like a little rough for us, obviously. We played Florida the first game. Our first game of the year, we were supposed to play Louisiana Tech, got canceled because of a hurricane. So our first game of the season is prime time, 3:30 CBS game versus Florida. We lose. go into the next game, have a shaky first half for me. So, you know, six quarters into, you know, my college football career, there's feels almost like I'm headed towards not being the starter anymore. And come out in the second half of a game versus SMU, and that's where the run kind of started for me for that season. So, you know, to go from August of that year battling for the starting quarterback job to be able to end, you know, in December in New York with the Heisman and these records that you talk about, it really was almost just like a dream.
Who's starting quarterback? I just want to know.
The starting quarterback before us was Ryan Tannehill,
with?
and then me and a guy named Jamil Showers.
We've never heard of him, man. That's crazy.
So just, I mean, really like a dream. How you know, you go from battling for a job in August and ending up with those records like you're saying, and then a Heisman in December, just fucking crazy.
Became the first freshman and the fifth player in NCAA history to pass for 3,000 yards and rush for over 1,000.
I think that was the craziest part of the whole
That
year.
is crazy,
is being a redshirt freshman and coming in and leading the SEC and rushing that year.
Can I say the awards this man? Obviously the Heisman. Then he won the Manning Award and the Davey O'Brien Award. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, what does that mean to you, bro? Like, it's only a few people in lifetime, bro, that accomplished that that's ever done that. Like, I know you want to be humble and you know you changed now, but like, take us back a little bit, man. Like, what did that feel like? You was on top of the world? Like, you know, you got Drake, all these people,
of course,
calling your names.
Of course, I feel like very much at that time I was on top of the world. I mean, you couldn't turn on a TV or Sports Center or anything without seeing something that
I witnessed
you know, had to do with us or me, and it was nuts. And I did get to meet and hang out with people and do things that, man, never in my life from a kid from Tyler, Texas, would I ever thought, you know, I would be doing. And it's a blessing. You know, still even thinking back about it, it's fucking crazy.
You know what's crazy? Because I gotta pop this because, you know, we got Johnny Manziel.
Come on now.
Like, I feel like Johnny Manziel was Odell Beckham before Odell Beckham. And on the, I'm just saying on the college, like just, I mean, because you know I'm just being real, bro. Just the notoriety and just like the rappers, like you said, mention his names. Like there wasn't no hot rapper that wasn't throwing in a punchline to
Drake
Johnny.
was saying his name.
That's what I'm saying. So
Johnny Manziel. Like, I remember that shit.
Like, bro, we got to give you your flowers, man. You really, my name on Instagram is 101. I feel like I'm 101 for what I've done in the NFL, but I really feel like, man, you in that talks of like a Reggie Bush, Tim Tebow, obviously Cam Newton. Like, y'all are in a different elite era of like college players, bro. And I just want to give you your flowers, dog.
Appreciate your love.
Sure.
Damn, I was thinking like, cause like, you know, it's funny, like you meet players, right, and like certain players you want to meet and all that, and then even college players, you don't really care too much for college dudes. I ain't really care for like Tebow. I ain't really trying to meet Tebow. Respectfully, good, you know, whatever. But dudes like you though, him, like Reg,
right?
You like, yo, I wanna be around this young boy, see how he really is though.
Can I ask him the question that we argued about? Or go ahead, finish. I
want to ask you though, cause like Drake's a big deal. People want to give people their flowers. I don't care for that. Because my mom's telling me what I got for me, what God got for me, he got for me. What he got for you, he got for you. So I don't have no issue with giving somebody their flowers.
Yep.
But Drake was a big deal when calling your name out like that. And this is when drafting. We don't know what you're going to be in the pros, none of that. How was that part, though?
Man,
how cool was that?
For me, I'd always been a fan. It was, I mean, who I listened to the most, who I probably, if you would have asked me at that time, who I wanted to meet, you know, more than anybody. And I remember coming back to college one day, coming back to the house and seeing an email after I bought a sweatshirt off the website. And it pretty much was like, yo, Drake fucks with you. Anytime you want to come to Toronto. And shit, our spring break was like 2 weeks later. I'm like, I can come in 2 weeks.
I'm out there.
I can come in 2 weeks.
I'm out
I'm
there.
like, they're like, come on out. I'm like, shit, I booked a flight. I remember as soon as I could, and went up and really just got a chance to hang out with him and the boys and the crew. And that just like started a relationship to where, you know, still to this day, we're all still friends and still able to have, you know, a relationship. And I mean, to be 18 years old, flying into Toronto, riding in the back of the Ghost, smoking a joint with my favorite rapper that I, you know.
That's my type of language.
For me,
right
I was
there.
like, is this real?
Pass me that.
That's my type of language right there,
So
baby.
it was just one of those things. And I remember my mom called me when I was on that trip, and she's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm in Toronto." She's like, "Doing what?"
Where
like,
are
what are you doing?
What'd
I'm
you
like,
say? I'm with Drake.
"I'm with Drake."
Yeah, we
I'm with
chilling.
Drake.
We partying, mama.
What mom say though?
My mom was like, "Just be careful. Just make sure you're being safe." I'm like, "Don't worry, they're taking care of me." So, you know, this was kind of the start of, you know,
That's dope.
A wild run that I went on for sure.
What would you say probably your wildest or funnest time with Drake? I mean, smoking a joint in the back of the
Man,
road sounds pretty fun.
that first trip was honestly really, really fun. From there, on that trip, I got a chance to meet LeBron and his crew that were there. They go on a trip to Toronto every year, and that's really what started me signing with LeBron and his agency whenever I got to the league. So that ended up kind of setting up a little bit of my future whenever I got to the NFL and stuff. So that first trip kind of had a snowball effect of a lot of things that were coming in the future.
Hey, what?
That's dope right there.
Me and Shady argued about a little something. I just want to get your opinion on this.
We always argue, I guess.
I feel like who else can we ask this but Johnny Manziel? So, best college football player all time. I'm gonna say two names, and you tell me who would you say? Travis Hunter or Reggie Bush?
Reggie Bush.
You didn't answer. You didn't answer the right question.
Oh my God! God damn! You said he was the best college football player all time. Is that not right? So what? Yeah, motherfucker. God damn.
What I told him was, first of all, to set the record straight, Reggie Bush was my favorite college player. I thought I was Reggie Bush at one point in time, right? I'm probably actually what Reggie Bush should have been in the league. Like, that's how tight we was, right? But what I was saying is, we've never seen no player ever to be like Travis Hunter.
You said he was the best player all time.
When we talking about a football player,
it's crazy. This guy don't never want to be wrong. Y'all, hey,
bro, don't never
y'all see this shit.
No, what I'm saying is like, he don't lead the field.
It don't matter. You said the best. You said he was the best player to ever play in the game just because he played both. So what? That don't matter. What Reggie Bush did is crazy.
So this is my argument, and I'm done with it because we talking about Johnny Manziel, and I don't want to waste no
It don't
time.
matter. I'm just asking.
What I'm saying is, Reggie Bush was a phenomenal college player. One of my favorites. I don't think you can argue if he's the best running back of all time in college. You can argue that with a lot of different other running backs. Correct? Okay. Who else you was saying that was really good?
Don't matter. We said
Mike Vick was phenomenal in college.
I said Reggie
You
Bush.
can argue if Reggie Bush or if Mike Vick was the best quarterback in college football. You can argue that.
Off the point. We said the
you
best
can't
player.
argue if there's a better straight football player than Travis Hunter because we've never seen any player ever.
Let's do a poll.
Hold on,
25-10, we're going to do a poll.
Let me finish.
Travis Hunter or Reggie Bush?
We've never seen an
we ain't got to talk
player
about
ever.
nothing else. Let's get to the interview on this group, man. We ain't got to do it. I mean, it's cool, bro. You didn't, he didn't pick your
wrong.
guy.
He's wrong a lot. He had to be wrong. So
no, I mean, you don't never want to be wrong.
No,
I mean, my boy said Reggie Bush. I said Reggie Bush. You said Travis Hunter.
But the way you asked the question wasn't even.
Hey, Johnny, it's cool, baby. Reggie Bush, like we said, man. Hey, so 2013 season, man. You got in trouble for allegedly signing autographs for money before your sophomore season, and you were suspended the first half of a game. Does any of that stuff bother you now that we have this era of NIL and you can get paid for money?
Like, I don't think it bothers me. I think, if anything, that story and definitely the documentary that I did, had a little bit of an impact to be able to get it to the point of where we are today. I think, it showed a little bit of the hypocrisy of what was going on with the NCAA. Now we're in the wild west of college athletics, but guys are able to get their bread and they're able to get their money, and I think it's the way it should be. I was at a point in time where, I was as marketable in college as some people were in the NFL. So, do I look back on it with any regret or anything like that? It's just not the world that we were living in or how things were at the time, but I think to where it is now in college athletics is a lot better, and maybe that story, had something to do with it. So maybe I was just a little early in that.
How much you get paid for that? Do you remember?
No, but I remember going down to Miami once a month as much as we could, just making 40, 50 bands. So
I can't let you off the hook though, Johnny, because I gotta be real, man. Because
hey,
hey, no, I heard him for sure.
19 getting 40 bands a
but
month.
we always
I did the same thing.
We always them guys in college, right? So if Johnny Manziel was in this,
I wasn't as good as y'all in college.
That's cool, but you was a
I had numbers. I went to a smaller
but
school.
I'm just curious because we talk about this.
Dudes.
If Johnny Manziel was in the era of today.
What?
What you think, let's predict your NIL deal, man. Let's be real. You able to get paid now. What you think you would have been getting?
I mean, I think you make somewhere around $5, $6, $7 million a year.
But you got the quarterback Tennessee, boy. That boy got $9 million over.
But that's the thing. That's why I say he would make, my opinion, he gonna make easy 15 to 20 million. You know why?
Sure.
Because when I look at certain everything's like what you know. So a dude like Shador, we all going for him because he's a young brother. Right. His dad's this, that. The young dude from Tennessee. Yeah. I don't really know much about him, but I know he's a top.
Yeah, he a baller.
Johnny had every gender, every race, rocking for him. Think about that though.
Every magazine,
Everything, like, and it was more the swagger and was the play. Everybody don't have that. He easily hit 20 million.
But like, can I ask you though, like, for sure, top 20 million. Like, where did you learn that from? Like, I mean, it's somebody like when I grew up, I looked up to the older homies in the hood. Like, who was that around you? I know you said when you went to, college or high school, like it was guys around you to kind of like just the persona.
No, they said you dated black girls in high school though. They told me that. They told me that.
I want to ask him about.
That little jungle fever in him, dog. I knew
Hold
it.
on, I gotta ask him about the chick too when we get there. But
Oh.
was there anybody that you kind of like looked up to or got that swagger from?
Man, I think for me, just I would do nothing but watch, Mike Vick, Vince Young. I would watch these dual threat guys. Like I never wanted to be this prototypical drop back, like pocket passer kind of guy. The running aspect of playing the quarterback position, to have a guy to be able to do that was always something that I wanted to do. And we played a lot of like backyard football in high school that just, we ran an air raid system, 5 wide receivers. And if there was nobody there, we scramble around and turn it into a scramble drill. So, that's kind of from the very early age, like how football was for me, the same way that I kind of played at A&M.
So I got a question for you. Lamar Jackson, you talked about backyard football. I had a chance to play with Lamar in the 2022 season. That was my last season in my 15th year. It was times where I came in like halfway through the season. I think it was like October they signed me. Was on like the practice squad. It's crazy because it's new NFL. You got veteran guys going on the practice squad to get acclimated into the roster or whatever. But I didn't really catch on to the whole playbook. And there was times in that season where I just got in there. He was like, DJ, I don't give a fuck. With that play called, we playing backyard football, man. Like,
That's what he told you?
yes, that's what he does. He plays backyard. I mean, he gonna play the system.
No. This year he playing on schedule now. Though.
I'm just telling you, he still might tell Flowers to just go get open and play backyard football. Let's talk about backyard football and like that instincts of like sometimes obviously knowing the whole playbook and like knowing the terminology. How much of your game was backyard football and freestyle?
I mean, probably about like 50% of it, to be honest. Like, you get a connection with a guy like Mike Evans where, he knows whenever you're moving one way or just, he sees you rolling left, just how to be able to break open and how to be able to find space. So I think probably about like half of that really was. For me, especially my first year in college, like, when you take the snap, most of the time, most guys are looking at safeties and this and that. I would look down, like almost at the D line to like find where like a hole was to be able to step up and get out. So really, like a lot of my first year of college football was like having my eyes down and being able to get in and get out. I don't think for really the first half of the season I really even played within the system for the most part.
And they don't coach you that though.
No, that's the instinct.
No, I remember getting to my meetings for when you're getting to the NFL and you go on your visits and stuff. And I remember meeting with Bill O'Brien and him being like, all right, so whenever you're under center or whenever you're in the shotgun, like where are your eyes at? And I'm like, we looked at linebackers. Right. Like we looked at which linebacker was tucked in more. And if we had any play called and I felt like this receiver could outrun, a backer tucked in, we would just call a bubble and just throw it out wide. He's like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about right now. Like we have our eyes on the safeties. This is what we do. So, that was definitely a big learning adjustment for me whenever I got to the NFL, just, getting to a point of, upgrading my knowledge on ball.
So since you go to the NFL, let's go to that.
Talking about the NFL.
Because this is crazy, but I want him to come to the Bills, right? Because you fall in love with that style of play. And my play is kind of like that, unorthodox, right? And we needed a quarterback. But that didn't work out, right? But I think people like root for certain players. Now, most dudes in college you only care about, but some dudes like you, I care about. Like, damn, I want him to make it. I want to ask you though. You talked about just playing off script and just doing opposite of what the coach is telling you to do, right? As far as looking at the secondary, you looking at the lineman. Where did it go wrong in the pros though? Because if you would have asked me in 2014, like, yo, would Johnny Manziel be a superstar in the NFL? I'm gonna say absolutely yes. Why didn't it happen? What happened?
I think for me, I obviously, when I got drafted, I don't think I put as much time into the quarterback position and into what I needed to do. Football had come so easy for me getting to that point, almost like maybe I expected it to be that way again. And then, slowly but surely, I think I lost confidence in myself throughout that first year in Cleveland. And, for a while, I think, when I was being the backup there, I kind of had the best of my mindset at that time was, almost like I have the best of both worlds right now. Like, I'm still learning. I'm getting a chance to take my time, but, like, I'm still going to Cavs basketball games. I'm still living this kind of like superstar kind of lifestyle instead of what you see quarterbacks in the NFL do. And, a lot of it comes down to, I think habits that I had in college that when you get to the NFL, you just can't have that. Like, you don't watch a ton of film whenever you're in college. When you get to the NFL, you better be dialed into that shit every single week and every single, game plan to what it is. It's specific week by week. And I think, the NFL game and what goes in on a week-by-week basis was just so different than what I was used to. And I don't think I as much as you're supposed to do it on your own, I take responsibility for, kind of how things went. I just wasn't in a great situation in Cleveland to be able to help me with that as well.
Right. So I played with Deion Lewis. He went to Pitt, one of my boys.
Played with him.
Talked very highly about you.
Yeah.
And one of my good friends, though, from high school, Joe Hayton.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember asking, yo, dog, because I said certain players, you be concerned about. Not concerned, but just you want to inquire about, you want to know about them, right? And at this time, I was all pro and all that in the league. And I remember asking, like, yo, what's up with Johnny Manziel? Like, what's up with him, And he was like, yo, the dude's super talented. But, bro, he like a running back wide out. Like, he fucking with us, playing with us, gambling, hanging out, going to the games, and then he leaving early, right? And I'm like, yo, so where was the veteran in the room that said, yo, Johnny, we need you to do this, or we need you to do that? Was there anybody with the Browns that could be that mentor for you that we all young players need?
Nah, I don't think I had it that first year. The second year whenever Josh McCown came in, I think he definitely had that presence to where he made the quarterback room feel really good. No matter who was starting or whatever, we were all pulling for each other. We were all, studying together, game planning together. So, really until my second year in the league, I didn't feel like I had that presence in the room until Josh got there. And, when he got there, I definitely felt like it was a better atmosphere, better environment.
Right. Hey, man, so a short stint in the NFL, obviously, 2 seasons. What was it like for you, man, when you got the call and you was released? And, like, what type of reality was that? Because obviously I know how confident you were in yourself. I know the expectations you have for yourself. And, did you feel like it was unfulfilled? And, like, obviously now you got your podcast, The Glory Days. I want you to speak on that a little bit and, like, what's the next plans for you in your future?
Yeah, I think for me, whenever I got released, especially from Cleveland, I think it was a little bit of, like, a sigh of relief. Like, it almost like, it didn't feel like it was like I was mad about it or anything like that. I felt like for me, I got an opportunity to just, like, take a break from football for a little bit. And that's really what I did, for that whole year. And didn't really come back and try and start playing again until like that spring of like next year and starting to get back into the rhythm of it. But I tried to play in Canada a little bit, tried to play a little bit, and I think whenever I got to Canada, I kind of felt the same way that I did whenever I was in the league. Like, maybe this isn't something I'm going to do, and maybe this isn't for me. And I think, where I'm at in life right now, I'm just happy. I'm happy living the life that I'm living, playing golf. Spending time with my family, my friends, and just seeing where life's going to take me. I just started a pod this year, obviously, which has been fun to be able to sit down with some guys. Sat down with Shady, get a chance to sit down with you in the future and just, chop it up. So still very much staying like involved in the sports world as much as I can a little bit. And then, at 32, still seeing what other opportunities are out there for me. Maybe get into coaching. I still very much, enjoy being around the game, enjoy watching the game of football. So still figuring some things out on that end.
Well, I don't know if you're up for it, but, I might potentially be getting some opportunities coaching, man. Maybe you come coach with me. But, from our partners over at Grant Carmino, man, Kevin Hart, man, we want to give you this bottle. We know you party. We know you like to get that Munyons for the Funyuns, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. Johnny Football legend, brother. All right, brother, you already know.
Yeah, okay. 4-0 when I touch down. Got a whole series on lockdown. If they looking for me, tell them pipe down. Look, we up to the test. You want hang with the best. We had direct take. Let's go.